All right, y'all, here is another one I'm really, really excited about. This is Mike Dillon, and I've been wanting to meet this guy forever and a day because I've been using his products for at least 2 years now, and I've talked about his products on the Permaculture Pimpcast, but for some reason I've never been able to catch up with him at any of these shows or anything. Look, folks, here's how much I believe in it. You've heard me talk about this Triad Air. Okay, not only do I have one for my house, I felt so strongly about it, and because of all the nonsense falling from the sky, my grandbaby living out in Texas, which we just happen to be right here, and my son and my daughter-in-law all having, problems breathing, and the same with my wife. That was why I bought this thing in the first place. I'd heard big things about it. People I know and respect told me about it, but I thought, okay, man, is this thing legit or not? I got this thing, real quick story. My wife, we left the house. She was having the worst problems in the world breathing, so bad that we had to turn back around, come to the house. 15 minutes being near this thing in the house, she was right as rain.
It wasn't something falling out of the sky that shouldn't be there that might have caused her to have some type of allergic reaction or some type of neurological attack that might have been falling out of the great sky.
Just how about that? Yeah, it was, and she was laid up to the point where she says, Billy, I can't breathe. We got home. I said, man, I do not want to take her to a hospital, which is why everybody's congregated at this festival right now. Folks, I'm only telling you about the stuff I personally use, and this is it. So, Mike, why don't you tell us what we're looking at? This is the model I got here and the one that we bought for my son and my daughter-in-law.
So what's great about this unit is this is what we call a proactive unit. Most of the air purifiers on the market, which is everything's now under the airwaterhealing.com branch, but I used to be specifically just the filter suck guy. So I had filtersuck.com for a long time because we really truly believed that air filters' only purpose is to collect the dust that a fan can draw to it. So I'm going to show your audience something that's pretty cool. Inside of this box here, we're able to demonstrate pulse ionization, which is literally releasing 12 million negative ions per cubic centimeter per second. We're gonna fill this box up and we're gonna show your audience what happened to his wife when she was outside. Now inside of here, this is just going to be smoke, but outside we have pollen, dander, barium, strontium, aluminum, off-gassing, diesel exhaust fluid, gas, all the chemicals that are being released into our atmosphere that are literally raining down on us like acid. We have created technology that is not only wearable, it is also stuff that you can put inside of the home. But when I talk about proactive versus reactive, every air purification company on the market today, and I don't like using the F word, especially on podcasts, but filters don't work because a filter's sole job is to try to collect the dust, pollen, dander, or metal into that filter. But the problem is, just like we were talking about those jet engines, you would need a jet engine turbo fan to be able to pull the pollution in your home into a filter. So people put one filter in their living room and then they go to bed and they sleep for 8 hours in a room with a bunch of chemicals, off-gassing, not to mention mold and mycotoxins. But come a little closer, I'm gonna show your audience this real quick. Without a single moving fan, you're gonna watch our technology pulse the air, and once we activate our negative ion technology, it starts to drop all of the positively charged things in your home down to the ground as a biologically inert substance. That's happening in real time. That is why when people put in our machine, they can say that within an hour, they notice a difference. By the end of the first day, they're calling their uncle saying, you need to get this. The next time they see me at a conference, they come up to me and I'm just waiting to get my hug because that's really what it is. When a product changes your life, most people don't realize when we went energy efficient, Billy, we trapped ourselves in with deadly toxic precision. We definitely cut down on our electric bill, but we sealed in all of the off-gassing things that we bring. You go into IKEA and people are so excited to get Swedish meatballs and they go get this beautiful put together shelf. What they don't realize is they're basically buying formaldehyde.
That's right. It's off-gassing.
Or they're using glues. They're using the certain phenolphylexines inside of carpets and area rugs. And I highly recommend if you guys have carpet, rip it up. Whatever investment you got to make, get hardwood, get organic aged wood that's been air dried outside that wasn't treated with any chemicals. You plug this machine into the home and you notice a difference, your audience will notice a difference. Now, the second part of the machine that I want to talk about, if you can come a little bit closer, inside of there is PCO. That is photocatalytic oxidation. That is a very fancy way of saying that we've created a UV light and we've encased it inside of a quad metallic housing. What that is doing is it's putting off a plasma. Superoxide ions and hydroperoxides, not to be confused with ozone. Ozone is another feature that the machine has that you can either use it with no ozone, low ozone, or for people who are contending with mold or a serious infestation in their home, we actually have a remediation setting on side of our machine. And that's what separates us from every single person that's on the market manufacturing. We built this for every single customer. But that plasma, I love it because when the scientists created the machine, you ever hung out with somebody much smarter than you?
Oh, the whole conference.
That's how I feel talking to Dr. Group, and Judy Mikovits is over there.
I know, I'm going to snatch her up in a minute.
I don't like using ChatGPT, but I have to use ChatGPT live translation when she speaks, because I don't know what she's talking about with gene coding, gene editing, and capital M, little m, RNA, all that stuff. But the easiest way to describe this for your audience is, imagine every air purifier that you've ever seen before this podcast today, or before this interview. Imagine the air purifiers on the market are like a rat trap, right? You got to put a little piece of cheese on the trap and you got to wait for that pathogen, bacteria, or virus to come to it. That's a filter. This machine is the prima de gato. This is the cat. This is the cat that goes out and goes into every room in the house, and it is getting what does not belong in the home, and we are removing it.
Bro, it doesn't just stop with this, because I've been trying, and I hit him up yesterday. I was like, you guys don't just cover the home, but you have this other device that I can pack in my suitcase whenever I'm at a conference like this, a continuing education. I can literally take care of my hotel room.
Yep.
It plugs, because I bought that one too, but the one I've not been able to find is almost like these mics. And every time I go there to your website, you're sold out. So even when you send the kids off to school, or you may go to the grocery store or out and about, you can be protected. How does that one work? Is it the same kind of?
No. So in fact, this is the only technology where we switch from a negative ion to a positive ion. So what we do is we use a very, very low coronal discharge, very small amount of ozone, and we use positive ions that create a 4-foot bubble, scientifically proven to kill pathogens, but it creates a bubble around you. So when you're outside, I've had people with multiple chemical sensitivities. They say they can't go to a conference because of people's perfume being too strong.
Oh, yeah.
They slap on that shield air and it creates a little 4-foot bubble around them. And that actually repels anything that's positively charged, because most of the ones that are on the market, people tell me, oh, I got one on Amazon for half the price of yours. And I go, and it's using negative ions. You're attracting that stuff to you. You want to create a bubble. So positive and positive, just like magnets when we were, I don't want to say kids, but I was playing with magnets last week with my daughter. But that plus and plus kind of, it makes that little motion where your hands start feeling like they're repelling. That's literally what it's doing, is it's repelling. And that's the Shield Air, which is on airwaterhealing.com. But something else that I want to do is, I want to share a promo code. I want to be able to give a discount, because we're here at the conference, but I don't want to give out the conference discount because you and I are fighting a globalist cabal. And it takes money to fight a globalist cabal. So anybody that wants to try any of our products, you guys can use the promo code PERMA, P-E-R-M-A, at airwaterhealing.com. And I promise you guys, the way that Billy experienced my machine, the way his son experienced my machine, the way that Dr. Group from Global Healing is experiencing my machine, Dr. Brian Artis, Dr. Jana Schmidt, and even Henry Ely, who speaks love about our air purifier, because once you put it into your home, you feel a difference.
You're not going back. No two ways about it.
It's not.
Let me ask you one last thing, because so many people, like where I live in Western North Carolina, so many people were hit up by this manufactured hurricane, okay? It came through, and now everybody has mold problems. Will this help in any of that?
I have more mold testimonies on my website than I do allergy testimonies. Because not only are you worried about mold, anybody that wants to do a deep dive, look at how photocatalytic oxidation reacts with mycotoxins. Mold is not the silent killer. The mycotoxins are the silent killer. And I can tell you, we've had testimonies of people who have survived breast cancer that said that they would rather take on cancer again than mold toxin.
Wow.
Because when you think about a neurotoxin, you're talking about suicidal thoughts, can't eat, can't sleep, can't breathe, heaviness of chest. Mold is something you do not want to play with. Absolutely a game changer. you guys have got to go to airwaterhealing.com and check out our technology. Do not forget to use promo code PERMA because that gives you a discount. It gives you free shipping, and it also allows Billy to keep doing the work that he is doing, guys. You are supporting small businesses, but you're also encouraging yourself to breathe cleaner, to be better, and to go out there and continue to fight this fight.
I like the way you roll, bro. I knew we were going to hit it off right off the bat, man.
Come on, man.
Folks, he's got so many other things out there. We can't get to all of it right now, but go to the website. Don't worry. We're going to have him on the Permaculture Pimpcast. We're going to go into much, much more detail, not only with this, but we didn't even touch the water yet, and we'll have to hit that when we get on the podcast. I got to save something out there because
it's a teaser.
Yeah,
give him a teaser.
You have got to check out his work and the stuff he's doing. I wouldn't be telling you about it if I didn't personally use it. I didn't have a discount code back then. I needed something to where my wife and my son, my grandbaby, my daughter-in-law, all of them could breathe properly, man. I can't thank you enough for what you brought to the market.
Absolutely.
And it's worth every dime,
Absolutely.
even without a discount.
Come on.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much.